Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. I hope all of the faithful is having a phenomenal week. We have a jam-packed show coming your way. Is Jimmy Garoppolo going to play on Saturday against the Green Bay Packers in the second round of the NFL playoffs due to that shoulder injury combined with that thumb injury? And because Garoppolo has gone on to take down Matthew Stafford and Dak Prescott in consecutive weeks, his trade value continues to increase, and there are rumored teams who are interested in a Garoppolo trade going into the final year of his contract this offseason, which I continue to say is going to be one of the biggest storylines in the NFL in 2022. So with Garoppolo's shoulder injury, is he going to be able to play on Saturday night? That's really the big question. He was a limited participant in practice on Tuesday, and Dr. David Chow does a really good job, also known as Pro Football Doc, of evaluating film as well as player injuries, thinks that this injury is a bigger deal than what Garoppolo, Kyle Shanahan, and the Niners are putting on. Quote from Pro Football Doc, I think it's a bigger deal than what the 49ers are saying. He likely has a rotator cuff contusion. Now, I did not say tear. That would be a huge deal. A rotator cuff contusion for a quarterback can be significant, though. And this is what Jason McIntyre of Fox Sports had to say on top of that. Texted someone in San Francisco about 90 minutes ago asking about Jimmy G. Lots of rumors that the hand and shoulder are not good, like may not start good. And the line, talking about the Vegas line, has surged market-wide to Green Bay -6. Somebody has even more intel. So we've seen the Vegas line go from the Packers being favored 4 at some sports books, 4.5 at others, all the way up to the Packers nearly being a touchdown favorite. Now, of course, that's a big deal, but there are a couple of factors here. Garoppolo's injury, Fred Warner is hurt, Nick Bosa remains in concussion protocol. If you ask me, I think Garoppolo is going to be good to go on Saturday, but something's fishy here. We'll continue to explore that. Garoppolo, on Tuesday, when he was asked about that injury, said this: "We'll feel it out throughout the week, but just feeling good right now." Tongue-in-cheek, maybe? Every throw was impacted against the Cowboys. It's a shoulder injury, so any type of throw, you're going to feel it, and it's going to change things. But yeah, it's just similar to when I was first dealing with the thumb. My body's just learning, and I have to adapt to it. Now, before we continue to kind of dissect all of these rumors, let me ask you this, Niner gang. Get into the comment section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with that YouTube ad break, just scroll on down and get your votes in. Will Garoppolo start on Saturday against the Green Bay Packers for the right to make it into the Final Four of the NFL to the NFC Championship game? Type S for you think he's going to start. Type TL for you think Trey Lance is going to get the starting nod. You let me know and sound off in the comment section down below. Now, I never want to make excuses for why a player's play drops off, but we saw it firsthand against the Cowboys in that epic win. Before the injury, I thought Garoppolo was really good. He was quick to make his decisions in the pocket. He was very accurate. He looked comfortable despite that thumb injury. Before the injury, he was 11 of 13, 133 yards, average yards per attempt, 10.2. After the injury, though, he missed that long third down to Brandon Ayuk, which really could have decided the game. He also got flushed to his right and threw that awful interception on the overthrow, which almost allowed the Cowboys to come back and would have dealt the Niners an absolutely horrendous and heartbreaking loss. But after the injury, 5 of 12, 39 yards, average yards per attempt at 3.3. So an 8-yard dip in average yards per attempt goes to show you Garoppolo is feeling the effects of the shoulder injury as well as the thumb injury. Now, I think San Francisco can win this game under one circumstance, if they're healthy. And I tweeted this out earlier. Give me a follow on Twitter at Chase_Senior. San Francisco can beat the Packers. The 49ers' style translates to the playoffs with their line play and running game. Green Bay is bad against the run. Yards per carry, that defense against the rush, 30th. DVOA, 28th. Explosive plays, 28th. So much of this matchup really just comes down to health for San Francisco, and right now the Niners are banged up with both Garoppolo coupled with Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. If they're healthy, I think San Francisco can go on to win this football game, but it all comes down to health for me, and I think Garoppolo, given his experience, just gives the Niners a better chance going into this raucous environment. Are you worried about the Niners' health, considering everything that we've talked about so far on today's show? And we're only getting started, baby. Type W for worried, type U for it doesn't matter. underdog flow, homies. Get those votes in the comment section right now. Want to give a shout out to our wonderful sportsbook partner BetUS for powering today's show. 125% deposit bonus if you plug in that link below me and that promo code to my right. It's chatsports.com/49bet and enter the promo code Niners125 for that 125% deposit bonus. Divisional round playoff slate straight up loaded. I'm going to be watching all of these games all throughout Saturday, all throughout Sunday, and of course, we'll be doing a watch party for Niners, Packers on Saturday night. Myself, producer Jeremy Chuggs, who's to my right, we're going to be getting litty, giving you the live play-by-play. Titans, Bengals, Tennessee, 3.5-point favorites. Right now, the Niners getting 6. Buccaneers, Rams, another intriguing matchup. Tampa Bay, -3. And then I think the Buffalo Bills going to be able to pull off the upset as 2.5-point underdogs against the Kansas City Chiefs. Get your bets in for this loaded divisional round slate. Thanks to our sportsbook partner. It's chatsports.com/49bet. Enter that promo code Niners125. So we pivot from the latest Jimmy Garoppolo injury news and rumors to Jimmy Garoppolo trade rumors. All of this is very, very juicy. And if you haven't gotten used to some of these Jimmy G trade rumors, get used to it. Buckle up. This is going to be one of the biggest storylines in the 2022 NFL offseason. Jason Smith, who hosts a radio show on Fox Sports Radio, said this: the Steelers quarterback next year will be Jimmy Garoppolo. Regardless of how the postseason goes, the 49ers have to go to Trey Lance next year. Jimmy is limited, but he's better than Ben Roethlisberger, and I'd be aggressive right away if I were Pittsburgh. Maybe a first and a third would get it done early. Jason Smith, I'm sure you do a great job on the radio. If Pittsburgh were to offer John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Adam Peters, and the crew, if Peters stays, and this front office, a first and a third round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, it doesn't take me long to say yes. My current prediction, Garoppolo can net a second round pick. That's what I think. Given his value, given his experience, given his level of play, how well he plays at the end of games, in crunch time, in clutch situations, in 2-minute drills, and really some of the leadership qualities that Garoppolo brings to the table. You pair all of that up with the fact that there are several teams, including Pittsburgh, who are going to be starved, and I mean starved, for a quarterback this offseason. And it is a pretty weak NFL draft class when it comes to some of these rookie quarterbacks. And Garoppolo right now is better than almost any rookie that any team can draft. So if you're close, like a Washington, like a Pittsburgh, like some of the other quarterback-needy teams, to making it into the playoffs, why not bring in Jimmy Garoppolo, who has won a bevy of football games throughout his career, as evidenced by the stats that we're about to break down. Highest winning percentage since 2016 among starting quarterbacks. It's Patrick Mahomes 1, it's Tom Brady 2, Lamar Jackson 3, Jimmy Garoppolo in at 4, ahead of Aaron Rodgers, who Jimmy G will be facing on Saturday night. So while, yes, Garoppolo has his deficiencies, the low points are certainly low when he goes into some of those lulls and his accuracy wanes. He can be a tough quarterback to watch. Garoppolo does win a lot of games. And the fascination and the debates on Twitter about Garoppolo really is hilarious. It really is fascinating. It really is intriguing because the fan base is so split. This is what nobody can deny. Garoppolo, when he's on the field, wins a lot of games for this team. More Garoppolo trade rumors. An anonymous NFL executive on Jimmy G. I have some concerns about Garoppolo outside of the Kyle Shanahan offense, but the Washington football team has some in-breaking stuff that would be similar. It wouldn't be as much of an issue if you can define throws for him. I don't get the sense, Jeremy Fowler now saying this, I don't get the sense a return for Garoppolo would be that pricey either. Some teams believe you shouldn't have to give up a first-round pick for him because it's known that San Francisco is probably ready to play Trey Lance, thus hurting its leverage. Plus, his $24 million salary on the last year of his deal must be reworked. But Garoppolo has played well enough to garner at least a strong day 2 pick. So the haters are never going to come to the conclusion, or they're never going to admit that Garoppolo can get back a second-round pick. There are so many media types out there who are saying Garoppolo for a second-round pick, it's never going to happen. Look, I think it's going to happen because there are quarterback-starved teams out there who are this close to making a deep playoff run. And Garoppolo has won a lot of playoff games. He's won a lot of games in general. And he brings a lot of really good qualities to the table. There's also this. if the Niners want to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo, it would be wise to rid themselves of that salary next year because they're going to have to pay DEEBO Samuel, who we talked about on yesterday's show, as well as Nick Bosa. So move forward with Trey Lance, clear some money off the cap, go with Trey Lance, trade away Jimmy Garoppolo. You don't have a first-round pick. Get a first or a second back for Jimmy G. Sounds like a pretty damn good offseason for San Francisco, and they played all of their cards right leading up to this point. Where will Garoppolo play in 2022? My last question for you before I dip on out of here. Type 4 for you think he's going to return to San Francisco in the Bay. Type O for other. Once again, you let me know and be a part of the show by popping off in that comment section. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Subscribe today because if you ain't subscribed, you ain't alive. Thanks for watching today's show, and go San Francisco.